Well, the New York Post is blasting President Biden for taking credit for the economic recovery, saying it is clear the credit goes to former President Donald Trump. On Friday, President Biden said his $1.9 trillion relief bill is the reason the nation's gross domestic product grew 6.4% in the first quarter. But the Post says that it's really because COVID cases are declining, and that's largely due to Operation Warp Speed getting vaccines into the arms of Americans. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs joins me now. And Congressman, I want to get your reaction because the Biden administration has said in the past that the COVID response was in disarray before they even got into office. Your reaction to that as well?
Yeah, well, with regard to COVID, it was President Trump's policies that facilitated quick development of the vaccines, number one. Number two, the Biden administration is using his logistic rollout to get it distributed throughout the country. So Biden administration got to do a plug and play. So they shouldn't really get a lot of credit for it, except for having the wisdom to follow President Trump's pathway that he'd laid out. But the economy is not growing because of Joe Biden. In fact, if he had his way and the policies that he wants to implement, our economy would be flat or receding like it is in Europe. President Trump gave us the foundation for a strong economy prior to COVID. It's what carried us through COVID as well as we did. It wasn't great, but it carried us through. And that's the path for recovery quickly.
I believe that, and correct me if I'm wrong, at least 30 million Americans had been vaccinated when President Trump left office, correct?
Yeah, tens of millions had already received the vaccine, including President Biden and Vice President Harris. They forget that, though, of course. But the reality is, this is their logistics that was set up under the Trump administration for distribution of the vaccine.
I want to stay with the issue of the former president for a moment. We just learned this morning that Facebook is going to decide on Wednesday morning whether they're going to uphold the former president's indefinite suspension from the social media platform and also from Instagram. You've been very vocal about this issue. What do you make of Facebook's impending announcement, basically?
Well, just a couple of things, Cheryl, that are so important. Number one, why are they acting like censors and publishers? If they are, then they need to be regulated as such or broken up under antitrust. But the second thing is, if they can do it to President Trump, they can do it to anybody, and they have. I just got booted off a week ago for something I said, which was that President Biden may be the worst president in United States history. Well, gone. You know, they don't want to hear stuff like that. And this is censorship, and they're using the power that they have to control and direct the speech of the United States of America today. And that's a real huge problem.
Real quick, I want to switch gears just since I have you here. We talked earlier at the top of the show about all the federal spending plans, the proposals from the president and the vice president, and he and the vice president, the first lady, they're spending all week touting these rescue plans, which we now look at in total is going to be $6 trillion. If you add up the COVID relief package, $1.9 trillion that was earlier this year that was passed, and then these two new packages, is there a scenario, in your opinion, where they might have to combine these new two packages to try and get them through? And do you foresee a moment where the president might reach out to you and fellow Republicans to do some negotiations?
Well, the A part of it, yeah, I think that they might try to combine them because they're going to try to use and facilitate an obscure rule that I shouldn't say obscure. It's a rule that we use in the House to get things through in the Senate because they have that 60-vote filibuster rule going. So they use something to get around that. They're going to have to probably do that. But in so doing, you got $4 trillion of spending. And basically, that's all debt. That's debt. That's structural deficit. So they're going to come to Republicans. Republicans don't want to, I can't imagine Republicans want to do anything anywhere near that. When you add the $2 trillion that they have plus the $4.5 trillion of regular spending, you're going to have $10 trillion in spending when you have about $3.5 to $4.5 trillion in revenue. I can't imagine Republicans are going to jump on that and support that.
Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona. Congressman, sir, thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.